Allah talked to Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and He said to him, "Wasbir li hukmi rabbika fa innaka bi a'yunina." Keep moving forward with patience. Stay strong on your mission, because you are commanded by your Rabb. Because of the hukm of your Rabb, keep working forward, because you are definitely under our eyes. The same phrase that I told you was used in the story of Musa alayhi salam. The same phrase that was used in the story of Nuh alayhi salam is a similar phrase that now Allah is using for Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and He's using it in Surah At-Tur, in the beginning of which He made a hint towards the mountain and He made a hint towards the sea. But what does it mean for our Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam? It's kind of a combination of both of those stories and then even more. In the sense that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is going to go through many experiences while he is in Makkah. And every one of those experiences is part of what Allah wants him to go through, not just for him, but actually the lessons for all of the ummah until Judgment Day are being designed by the experiences that our Prophet is going through sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If we contemplate that for a little bit, that's a very powerful lesson. What is that lesson? Every surah of the Quran that we recite so beautifully, our Qur'an memorize them and we enjoy them, reciting them in the prayer. When those surahs were given to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he would recite them, people would call him crazy. People would insult him. And he had to go through those experiences so that 1,500 years later, you and I can recite those same surahs. You understand? So Allah put him through that, because actually he had to go through that so one day we can value what we're reciting. So one of the things that every Muslim, myself and yourself, should be aware of is the words of Allah that we get to recite. They're not cheap. It was a big sacrifice that had to be made, and the Rasul ﷺ was being crafted and his mission was being designed by Allah with a lot of pain, so that one day we can have the convenience of having access to the word of Allah. Because it did not come to us in an easy way. It came through the sacrifices of our Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and those that believed in him. The other thing is that in both of those stories, especially in the story of Nuh alayhi salam, Allah Azza wa Jal told Nuh alayhi salam to build this ship. But why was He telling him to build the ship? Because the adhab of Allah is very close. So two things are getting closer. Two things are increasing. One, the time they have left and the state of emergency is increasing. Two, the way they make fun of him is also increasing. And as the Prophet ﷺ was making his da'wah and he was sharing the Quran with the people of Makkah, their aggressiveness towards him was also increasing. And the more their aggressiveness was increasing, the time for hijrah was also coming closer and closer. The time to leave Makkah was coming closer and closer. When he has to leave Makkah, the moment he will leave Makkah, the new chapter will begin, and that new chapter is not just the life in Medina, it's the chapter of adhab, punishment for the people of Makkah. And the first episode of that punishment was Badr. The second episode was Uhud, and so on and so forth. Right? The punishment, the phase of da'wah is over, now Allah's punishments will begin for them. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is being told, وَاصْبِرْ لِحُكْمِ رَبِّكَ فَإِنَّكَ بِأَعْيُنِنَا. Stay committed to your mission, no matter what people are saying to you, no matter how much they call you crazy, whatever insults they give you. Keep moving forward, don't back down, because every step you take is being designed by us. Every single step you take is being designed by us. What Allah does in this surah, He tells the Prophet ﷺ to make tasbih. As you get to the end of the surah, the Prophet ﷺ is being told, keep doing tasbih of Allah until idbarun nujum. Meaning, do tasbih of Allah in the night time also, until the stars begin to disappear. Meaning Fajr time, yeah? And this is a very important image, because the image of doing tasbih of Allah in the night is actually like his mission. He is calling to Allah, describing the perfection of Allah, sharing the word of Allah, and around him is the darkness of kufr, darkness of shirk, like the darkness of the night. And soon that situation is about to change. There's new light that's coming, right? So in it there's a subtle hint that things are about to change until the hukum of Allah comes. Until then you keep doing this. وَاصْبِرْ لِحُكْمِ رَبِّكَ. Until then you keep working. But soon I will give you a new hukum, a new rule, and that rule will be to make hijrah. And you'll have to go. But what does that mean for you and me? When you follow the command of Allah, when you stand by the truth, when you stand by what is just, when you don't allow corruption to happen under your watch, when you call it out, whenever you do that, it requires sabr. Because whenever you say the truth, somebody gets angry. Then people get offended. You're afraid to get attacked when you do the right thing. And we've got to keep doing the right thing until it becomes impossible to do the right thing. Until the very moment it becomes impossible. And when it becomes impossible, Allah will open a new door. The idea is you and I cannot just say we stand up for justice without going through pain. You have to go through pain. Allah loved His Prophet ﷺ so much, and He allowed him to go through a lot of pain. And that's an important lesson. Sabr means you have to go through pain. And when we are ready to go through that pain, then like Nuh alayhi salam, like Musa alayhi salam, and finally like even Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, we are going to be under the eye of Allah. Allah is going to be watching. When will Allah give a new way for you? How will Allah make a new, opening for you? Well, the secret is given in the surah, isn't it? سَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ حِينَ تَقُومُ وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَسَبِّحْهُ وَإِدْبَارَ النُّجُومِ. Do tasbih of Allah every time you get up.